Hi guys. Okay, so I'm back under my desk here so that I can have both of my hands free to make graphs for you. So remember that we have talked about picture graphs. Today we're going to do bar graphs. Remember, those are literally graphs that we show our information using bars, rectangle bars. That's it. All right, here we go. Let's get started. I'm gonna pop out of the frame. Bye. Okay, so as you can see, I have my paper here. Now, when we're making a bar graph, our first step, we're going to make a beautiful title, okay? So I want to remind you that this is going to be all about that if you could have a magical pet choice that I gave you on our Friend Friday, and I kept track of all of the votes. So let me grab my data here. It's over here, stuck to this paper. All right, here it is. Here's my data that I kept track of. You want to make sure that you keep track of your data somehow so that you don't mess up on your information. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a title. Here we go. And I'm just going to say it's Magical Pet. It can be short and sweet. Magical Pet. Happy face. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to work on drawing my actual graph for my bar graph. When I do this, I'm going to tell you guys to draw this cool little corner thing here. That's going to help you out a lot. Just draw that. That's it. Easy, right? Okay, so now our next job is going to be labeling, okay? So on the bottom here, I'm going to list my choices. And this is called, you'll learn this later, the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. You don't have to know that now, but now you know. So in the future, when they tell you in like, I don't know, 5th grade, middle school, you'll be like, oh my gosh, background knowledge. Woohoo. Okay, and this right here is the y-axis. This is where we're going to put our scale. Scale is like the number. Okay, so I'm going to look over here and I've got dragon, unicorn, dinosaur, talking fish. So remember down here we have our choices. If we were talking about, I don't know, the number of birds that visit on a day of the week, and we wanted to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, those are the choices, the days, and then over here would be the number or the amount of birds, okay? So think about it that way. So I'm going to make my 4 categories here, and I'm just going to write them like this. Dragon, unicorn, dinosaur, and this is a talking fish. And I need to make my graph just a little bit longer because I made my columns nice and wide so that everything wasn't super scrunched up so you could see. Boom. Easy. I just have to extend the line. Woo! Okay, so my choices go down here. Now over here, we make the scale. The scale is just the numbers here, okay? If my numbers were really big, my scale might need to skip. It might need to skip by 10s, or it might need to skip by 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80. Sometimes it might need to skip by hundreds, 200s. In this case, our numbers aren't that big, so we're just going to do ones, okay? My biggest number here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think I'm going to have my scale go from zeros down here in the corner, by the way. That corner is 0. I think I'm going to have it go all the way to 10. Okay, and now I'm just going to count down 9, and I have to try and fit this all in, make it look kind of organized, but I feel like it's going to run out of room because I didn't really measure it. Probably not the best choice. You may want to think about spacing yours out first, but it turned out okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. Okay, there's my scale, or the interval. Sometimes we talk about the interval. The interval, you're counting by ones. It's just a fancy word, okay? If they ask you about the scale, this is your scale. All right? Now my job is to make the bars on the graph. Dragon. We had, using my data, 7 students pick dragon. I'm going to cross it out because I'm doing it. 7. So I'm going to make a little mark up here. And I'm going to draw my bar. Remember, it's like a rectangle. And I'm just going to kind of lightly sketch it, color it in. Doesn't have to be totally perfect. Boom. 7. My next one, I'm going to do a different color because I want to be fancy and colorful. My next one is going to be unicorn, okay? So let's see. Unicorn is 3. Cross that out. Find my 3. Boom. There's my 3. Unicorn. My next one is dinosaur. It has 2. 1, 2. Here we go. My 2, maybe a little bit shorter. And my last one is Talking Fish, and it had 3, and I'm going to go back to my color purple. So it kind of lines up with that one there. I didn't do it exact. If you want to do it exact, you could use a piece of paper to measure the line across, or a ruler to make sure it's exactly in the right spot. And that's it. Ta-da! You've made a bar graph. You can easily see, hey, look, unicorn and talking fish. They're both 3. They're the same. The shortest one, or the smallest amount here, would be dinosaur. It has the least. The most would be dragon. You could do a lot of compare and contrast. Maybe I could say, how many more people voted for a dragon than a unicorn? Well, when I hear the words how many more, that's like a trigger in my brain. Oh, I have to subtract. So I'm going to do 7, take away 3 would be 4, or I could count up 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 7 from 3, and that's 4 more. That means 4 more people voted for dragon than unicorn. 4 less voted for unicorn than dragon. See how that works? Pretty cool, huh? Lots of good information from a graph. That's it. Your turn to make a bar graph. You could do this with your family. Give them this choice. You could do types of stuffed animals. If you have a lot of animals at your house, you could do the different types of animals that you have. Your choice. Have fun with it. I'm excited to see your graphs. This doesn't take super long, and it's kind of like having some fun with coloring. All right, guys. I'll see you for line plots. Bye.